We made it. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining me from in the world. My goodness, this week, can we call it the week of disappointment? There was a big lack of any newsy news. No announcements, no real releases, and I know it's Chinese New Year, but we're progressing through it. And I kind of thought we'd see something this week. Adding to my disappointment is also that I didn't get my topo suits. They got held up. Thanks, Australia Post. And they should have gotten here by now because I know how long it normally takes me to get a delivery from Kit. I was hoping we could unbox. We could have something to talk about. Australia Post decided no. No, that's not going to happen. So that added to my disappointment because I was so keen to get those topo suits. I'm trying to decide which suit I'm going to use for my John Wick Chapter 2, and I got to wait till sometime next week. So that's a bit of a bummer, but hey, like, I'm going to look on the positive side. It was the Star Wars free week, so, you know, I'll take a win. I'll take a win where I can get it, guys. So we're still here. We're still going to have a chat. Maybe a shorter stream because, as I said, not a lot of newsy news, but I have tried to pick a few things that we can discuss so I can still come and hang out with you guys. So if we wrap up early, that's okay. We wrap up early. It's not every stream has to be a mega stream. So let's see who's here to hang out with me on a Friday. Tiny Art Guy is here. Hi, Helen and friends and collectors across the globe. Goodness, if I'm not enunciating my words well on the first comment, we're in trouble. Hello, Tiny Art Guy. Lovely to see you. We've got Keith Lee. Happy Friday, folks. We made it through another week. Let's go. Indeed, we made it through another week. Valkyrie Magnus is here. Good morning, Helen and friends. Hello to you, Valkyrie. We've got Miss Batwoman. Happy Friday, Helen, Shuri, and everyone. Yeah, little Shuri is, if she's smart, she'll be in the air conditioning in the other room. It is very hot. The nights this week have been really hot. And I've not loved it because I've not been sleeping well. So last I saw little Shuri was like in the sink in my ensuite. She has her sink. I have mine. She loves the cool surface. See, hopefully she appears. She hasn't rocked up the past couple of weeks. It's made me a little bit sad. But hopefully we get blessed, goodness, with the presence of little Shuri. We've got Raymond here as well. Good afternoon, Helen. Yep, still no Hot Toys Winter Soldier. I had hoped it would come this week. I was just so convinced that around Chinese New Year, they want to make a big splash. Artisan Winter Soldier with the real leather, the pre-posed metallic arms. We got Steve, but I wanted Bucky, but we keep waiting. And I still haven't been invoiced for my Batman Returns figure. The Australian distributor was saying it was going to be arriving by the 28th of February. And normally their estimates are good. Like, it's not typical that you get it after they say. So that's just added because I thought surely I'm getting my Batman Returns during Chinese New Year. We can unbox it, again, give us something to talk about. But no, I've had nothing new from a complete figure perspective since I went to Hong Kong. That's a while ago. That's probably why it's adding to my disappointment. We've got Anthony Stanfield here. Hi, everyone. Hi, Anthony. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you. So, yeah, as I said, I had hoped an unboxing or something, but such is life. Such is life. But I have got an audience participation question. So whether you're watching live or you're one of my peeps that watches on the replay, take part. I think this audience participation question, it's almost like a bit of collective therapy. It's a bit of information sharing to help us get through the Chinese New Year drought. So together, we are stronger. We can get through it. Raymond got some stuff, though. I did get my T800 Battle Damage 2.0, which is an absolute grail. So that will tide me over till Bucky comes out. Yeah, that figure's fantastic. I can understand that. But Raymond, you're on a streak. I feel like the past few streams you've gotten some awesome figures. So very lucky, very lucky. JB is here. Happy Friday in Helen and chat. Happy Friday to you, JB. Hope you're doing well. Austin is here as well. Hello, Helen. Hello, Austin. I hope you're doing well. We've got Mike's here. Hey, everyone. I think I've worn upper management down by stressing the importance of this stream, as today is my last Friday meeting. I'll still have to catch the replay. That's a win. And you know what? We applaud wins here, so well done. Have a great stream and weekend, Helen. Thank you, Mike. I hope you are having a lovely weekend when you see the replay. We got Renz. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you, Renz. I hope you're doing well. Raymond says, got my POs down from 44 to 28. That's 44 is a lot though, but yeah, that's a nice chunk of them. So well done. Helen, have you gotten your Hot Toys Batman Returns figure yet? No, Austin, you must have been a few minutes late. So I was literally just saying, haven't even been invoiced for it yet. The Australian distributor had put it down as arriving by the 28th of February. It has not arrived, and that's not typical. Normally, their estimates are pretty good, and you actually typically get the invoices before their estimated date. So I don't know what's happening. So yeah, no Batman Returns figure for Helen yet, but hopefully not too far away, I hope. The Broke Collector's here, my foundation member for more than a year. So you know what? That gets some applause. Broke. My first ever foundation member. Greetings all. Enjoying a well-deserved week off. Glad to catch the live stream. Amazing. Enjoy your week off. I had a week off, but because I was sick and was coughing up a lung. But hopefully you're having an amazing week off. Let's jump into things, shall we? We've got the usual housekeeping. Thank you to my channel members. As I said, the Broke Collector, my foundation member, AJ Agrusa, who I think's also been a channel member for around a year, so appreciate you guys. Pop Culture Living Room, Kevin LaFranc, Aaron Broverman, Tijuana Mike, Keith Lee, Valkyrie Magnus, Miss Batwoman, Bob Dylan, Blue Tattoo, Winman42, and Moose Dream. Guys, appreciate your support of the channel. If anybody is watching and would like to become a channel member, there's a link in the description of this stream. I think it's like 99 US cents a month. I set the bar low. It's cheap. You get some cute videos of Shuri, and I'm also open to suggestions. I'm thinking I might do a Tim Tam giveaway just for my paid channel members. So if that's not an incentive, then I don't know what is. So, guys, we know William Wang and One Man's Hobby is no bueno, but we keep the PSA up because the website's still there. I am so sure that new items are being added to that website. So I'm a bit suspicious of this. We're creeping up to a year since Wanger's disappeared on us. But as I said, I keep this in here for the new people because that website's still up. It's still collecting orders and pre-orders for a guy that's been missing and has hundreds and thousands of dollars of other people's money that have not heard from the guy. So we warn our fellow collector friends, if they say, oh, William Wang, One Man's Hobby, is that a reliable seller? We say, absolutely not. You may as well throw your money in the garbage because you are not getting anything delivered by this company. So it's fine. It's fine. The PSA remains. Laura's here. Good morning. Good morning to you, Laura. Hope you're doing well. Been enjoying all the photos of your cute little kitty cats on Facebook. Super cute. Right, guys. Audience participation question. I'm starting off with it to get some conversation going. So I want to know, whether you're watching live or on the replay, how are you dealing with the Chinese New Year announcement and release drought? Because I feel like it's typically not this quiet. Like, yes, there is a bit of a lull, but I feel like last year Hot Toys really didn't have a lot of chill during Chinese New Year. So this week really surprised me. And I kept thinking this Friday was going to be like Flashback Friday when we got the Age of Ultron figures, we got the new Jack Sparrow. But no, we just got that moose thing from One Piece or whatever that show is called. And I was just feeling a bit underwhelmed. Oh, Laura says the new kitties are right, so adorable. They're super cute. I'm all for the cat content. All for the cat content. Let me just. So I thought, because I know for me, when it's a period like Chinese New Year where things are a bit slower, or it's a bit of a drought between when my next figure is coming, that's when the FOMO creeps in. That's where my eye starts to wander and I start considering figures that were never in my very carefully considered and curated purchasing plan. So I thought maybe we could share, is there something you do when there's a drought, whether that's a drought for something coming to you or just a break from news and releases? What do you do to kind of make that time go and not fall victim to FOMO? Because I've tried to be constructive with my time during this Chinese New Year. I actually have used a lot of this time to consider my room setup. I've said to you guys for the longest time, I can fit in another cabinet. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm 95% certain I now know what I'm going to do, and that's really exciting. And I think the drought kind of gave me an opportunity to really think about the room, think about what's coming into my collection, the lines I have, the lines I want to get. I even went out to some shops to see some display cabinets. And I feel like I've landed on my approach. I drew many a diagram of this room because I need to draw it out. I draw the cabinets and I map out what figures are going to go on each shelf. And it may sound incredibly nerdy because it is, but for me, it really does help me get that picture in my mind of how it's all going to fit together. So that was something I've been doing. The other thing I've been doing is I use this opportunity because I do like to kit bash. I like to then go through websites like 116 Kit and Giant Toys and just see what like 6 scale accessories they have. I check my little stockpile of kit bash parts to see, am I running low on anything? For me, I was like, oh, I'm running low on a certain kind of neck connector. So I picked them up. I also saw Kit have these really nice looking real leather belts for male figures, which handy for John Wick. So I've picked up a couple of them. They're on their way. But I made my first AliExpress order because there was a company called Toy Time that did this kind of belt for the John Wick Chapter 4. Not many retailers stocked it. I asked Kit. He was like, I've never heard of the company. I'm not getting this. I looked everywhere in Hong Kong. I had a picture on my phone. No one had it. And then I thought I'd look on AliExpress and the Toy Time one was there. But then I found this, I think it's O-Player. It looked pretty much the same, a fraction of the price. And I thought, well, for less than $30 Australian, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. So this is on its way to me. So I'll be excited for that, a little accessory to enhance one of my John Wick 4 figures. So I will keep you guys posted about that. If I get it in time for next week's stream, maybe we can have a look at it. And also, inspired by Bobby Dylan, I did my kit bash to turn my Daredevil, which, as you guys know, I'd been looking for the longest time and got in Hong Kong from Secret Base. I turned it into the Walk of Shame Matt Murdock, and I was really quite proud of this because I know when Bob did it, he glued the feet in place, and I wanted to do this mod in a way that was not permanent. And I had been racking my brains, and I was like, you know what? Just, you've got the parts, just have a look at it. So I'm really happy with how this came out. He's got the bare feet. He's holding his boots like he does in the show. Got a little picture of him with She-Hulk. I've got to work out how I want to display them in my cabinet now. But this is where I wanted to say, like, having a look at just the parts on different websites can really reveal some hidden gems. So this photo on the left, you might be like, Helen, it's a foot with a connector in it. Like, what is special about that? If you go to Monkey Depot, they have, I think, what is a hidden gem for collectors and even kit bashers. They have these sort of I guess they're 3D printed connectors. Because as we know, Hot Toys changed the foot connectors they've been using. They're not using the ball joints anymore. But on Monkey Depot, they have, as I said, I'm guessing they're 3D prints of the new peg that Hot Toys has, but also pegs that have the new connector for into the leg, but the old ball peg for the foot or the shoe. So I picked up a couple of these thinking I might use it for John Wick, for my John Wick 2, because I bought the suit loose. I was going to try to put it on a John Wick 4 body. So I got these feet connectors thinking at some stage they'll come in handy. And they did, because I bought these. I actually got a spare pair. I did actually get something arrive. I got another Topo white shirt for my second John Wick 4 because I think the Topo shirt looks way better. But I also got, you can't see them through the plastic. I also got a set of these 6-scale feet legs from 1/6 kit. So you can see them there. They're quite tall. So I had to trim these down to work with Daredevil. And as I was trimming them, I saw that within the foot, in the bottom, was a ball peg attachment. And I was like, oh, this is a surprise and a delight. And I remembered I had the ball pegs I bought from Monkey Depot. And I went, could it? Would it? And it was the perfect piece that I needed. So I was then able to attach, as I said, these are quite long. So you can see I trimmed it down quite a bit. But then I was able to use those 3D printed, third-party, whatever you want to call them, pegs from Monkey Depot to then attach the feet seamlessly to my Daredevil. So this is the kind of thing I like to do when there's a bit of a lull. Like, I do look at some of my figures, ones that I've had mods in mind for or things I've wanted to improve. And I was so happy. I was so happy to pull this off. Inspired by Bob Dylan. Again, thank you, Bob. You came up with this idea, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's the perfect companion piece for Jen now. So I'm, really excited to have the Walk of Shame Matt Murdock. Looks great. But as I said, these are the kind of things I occupy myself during a figure drought or the Chinese New Year lull. So keen to know, you guys, what are you doing to resist the FOMO, to get through these times where not much is happening? Let me see what you've been saying in the comments. Anthony, I'd like to say saving money, but I'm spending on art figures and Sofubi. Is that what it is? Sofubi instead. I don't know what Sofubi is. No idea. Raymond says, strange to have a week with only the weird bear thing, moose thing. I was so convinced that this was going to be like the Friday a fortnight ago where we got the Age of Ultron figures and just a big drop of announcements. And we got nothing. So Howie, he's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Tiny Art Guy says, I got a big load of new bases from Crow Customs in the UK. Oh, nice. Putting my existing figures on them feels like I have a heap of new figures. That's another thing I didn't even think of. I've been putting together a list of decals for my figure stands that I need to order because I am going to get a bunch of things coming in soon. So yeah, again, these little things like that can just enhance your current display. And it does, I feel like it scratches that itch. It's nice. And yeah, Crow Customs do some really nice stuff. So that's awesome. Austin says, what I do when the waters are calm, I enjoy looking at my collection and posing them and just admiring my collection room. I love it. That's awesome. I definitely feel like reposing your figures or making some changes to your display is definitely another good way to get through a bit of a drought. Raymond says, I used this time to change up the Marvel Iron Man section, selling the older Days of Future Past Wolverine and sold the Ezra Miller Flash figure, so taking a bit of time to curate. Again, it's a perfect time to do it because you have that bit of clarity. And I often say that because it's funny, Days of Future Past Wolverine was a figure that I ummed and ahed about selling for the longest time. And it may sound silly, but my approach is during periods like this, I'll take those figures out of my cabinet. So when I come to see my collection, it's like, do I miss it? Do I notice it's not there? Do I feel like, oh, it's what I have is lesser? And it's funny because a lot of the times I kind of don't miss it. And that's how I ended up selling mine to Iron Logan. God, how long ago? A year ago? Maybe 2? Can't remember. JB says, enjoying the drought, saving funds for the Q2 onslaught. Oh, Blitzway, DeLorean, Ghostbusters, etc. I'm also taking time to design more vehicle displays. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. I am getting a bit concerned. I'm going to have a bit of a onslaught as much as I'm wanting stuff, but Batman Returns I still haven't got. George and Chris have got to be coming sometime soon. The new Captain America figure. Apparently So-So Toys, Supergirl, and Deathstroke. So I could go from famine to feast pretty quickly. Ace McLeod is here. Hello, Helen, watching the stream while I work. Hello, Ace. You've given me a bonus L. That's a treat. I think the most exotic spelling of my name I've ever seen was Hellan. And I'm like, I've never seen Helen with an AN. But hey, maybe someone has it like that. Keith says, great question. Let me put the question back on the screen to remind people. Great question. I collect other things, so I usually take the time to catch up in those areas. Oh, okay. Got something coming in today. Actually, also got a notice from Sideshow that the Scorched Xenomorph is coming. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, it's funny. I've really tried in recent years to limit the other stuff that I collect because I feel like I'm becoming a hoarder. Because I also collect things like autographs. I've got a big collection of like basketball jerseys. I feel like I get into so much stuff, and I'm really trying to limit it as much as I can because it's addictive and I spend so much money. Winman's42 is here. Happy Friday. Greetings to everyone. That DD modification is very cool. Congratulations. Thank you, Winman. Hope you're doing well. Winman also says, I love Monkey Depot. Have purchased from them quite a few times, and the name is funny as well. Yeah, the name is quite hilarious. I think they're in Phoenix as well, which is where Toy Anxiety is, I'm pretty sure. But seriously, those feet pegs, ankle connectors they have available, I'm really surprised more people are not talking about them because I feel like I regularly hear people say, oh, I broke the ankle on my new Deadpool figure or whatever, and where do I get a replacement? And there's like replacements sitting on the Monkey Depot website, and they feel like they're quite sturdy. I think because I'm assuming they're resin, like they feel quite hard. And as I said, having a couple of those in my little kit bash box of random parts, like I love it. I love it when I have a spare part and I'm worried, oh no, I've got to go order online. I'm going to have to wait a couple of weeks. And then it's like, no, I have what I need. It's such a nice feeling. Broke Collector diorama work is keeping me busy. I'm 3D printing the back computer. It's quite the project. Oh, really? I need to catch up on Costa's Discord. If you guys aren't in Costa's Discord, there's amazing stuff that people are doing, including the Broke Collector, as far as not just 3D printing, but the garage display cases. Like, people are doing some pretty next level stuff with garage display cases. I really like Costa's Discord. I need to dive back in and check it out. So I will do that soon. Question, Helen, how many John Wick figures do you actually have? Great question, Austin. So on display, so this is a complicated question. So on display, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 on display. That's of John Wick. I've got 2 Kane figures. But then I also recently recreated the Hot Toys John Wick Chapter 2, which sounds odd, but I bought the suit loose and it didn't quite work on the John Wick 4 body the way I wanted it to. So then I found a loose John Wick 2 body. So that's 5 John Wicks. I have the Kento John Wick not on display. So that's 5. I've got the 2, so 5 in my possession. I've got 2 Topo suits coming. So I can do a Chapter 3 John Wick. And then I can decide which way I want to go with the Chapter 2 figure. And then I've got 2 chapter 1 figures. So I've got the Artisan and the standard release. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 10. But there will be some culling or some repurposing of suits, because I'm even thinking the original Topo suit I got for John Wick, which doesn't have the accurate vest, I may end up using on my Ra's al Ghul figure to upgrade the Mars Toys suit. So we'll see. But yeah, a lot, because I am going to have a World of John Wick shelf, and I want to have a figure from chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've got a second chapter 4, which I want to have with Kane. I've got the ballerina coming. So I've kind of got a picture in my head as to how this is all going to work. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of John Wick. Anthony says, very interesting to hear about your Daredevil kit bash and the use of 3D connectors. Great info. Thank you. It's why I thought I would, as I say, it's a slow news week, and that's why I thought I would just share, because I think people don't often know some of this stuff exists. And again, it could be that one thing where you're like, oh, this part's broken. What do I even do with this figure now? Well, I mean, that's why sometimes browsing on some of these loose parts stores, you never know what you're going to find. Austin also mentioned Black Op toys. Yep, I've seen them. I find them a little bit more expensive than Monkey Depot and Toy Anxiety, although Toy Anxiety has become the Hunger Games. Like, if you are not on that website as they list stuff, good luck. You are not getting it. Keith says, I love Monkey Depot, especially since they have the ability to hold order for 90 days so you can combine shipping. Oh, no way. I wish Toy Anxiety did the same thing. I'll spend more with them if they did. I didn't know they did that. That's so cool. It's funny because I think the good thing / bad thing about Monkey Depot is because they don't announce their drops the way Toy Anxiety does. I feel like you've got more of a chance to find what you're looking for. But that's a really great tip. I didn't know they did that, because I've had that situation with Toy Anxiety, and their postage to Australia is just costs so much, and it's so frustrating because if I see something, I know if I don't buy it, it's going to be gone. And then 2 days later, you'll see something else, and you're like, they've already shipped it, and now I'm paying another $40, $50 Australian to get something small shipped to me. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Ace says, I never experienced a drought because I always have figures to chase. I'm a Marvel Iron Man collector, so there's always something out there to hunt for. That's fair enough. Austin says, for me, when it comes to collection, I believe in having a civilian version of my characters, from Wolverine to Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark. That is fair enough. Do you display or have any plans to display your collection of jerseys? Absolutely not. It's funny. I actually, I learned how to do picture framing. It's one of my, I am not good with my hands, so I'm very proud that I learned how to do picture framing. And that's the ironic thing. I actually framed up some jerseys for some friends of mine, but I've never done it for myself. And I think because when I bought my house, I was really mindful to not have it look like a sports bar. I kind of said, I'm going to set up my sort of study. That's where things are. So this is what gets me, is that a lot of them are just in like storage tubs. And I did go through a phase where I culled some of them and I popped them on eBay and got rid of a few, but I have a lot. And I mean, I feel like I'm past the age of really wearing them as well. So I'm just like, it's just a lot. I have seen some cool cases online where the cabinet opens and it just has like a hanger, so you can then swap the jersey out, which I think is really cool. But all of my wall space in this room either has cabinets in front of it, or the wall that faces me, I've got some of my framed autographed pictures. So I'm like, I just don't know where I'd even put them. I don't know. Anthony says, I've accepted that I'm a hoarder. Hashtag no shame. No shame here. Absolutely not. No shame amongst friends. Laura says, I'm not worried about a drought. I'm waiting for Chewie, and I'm guessing that's Empire Strikes Back Han. And then I might be done. I have everything I've ever wanted. Wow. That would be a nice place to reach. I often wonder myself, what is the end point? And I have wondered if it's when I finish my John Wick display, because I don't know, I'm not really looking to dive in willy-nilly to any big figure lines. Like, I know for some people they're looking at Doomsday, they're really hyped for that. I don't know that I want to dive into some big ensemble line again. So that's a nice place to be. I'm envious. Winman says, speaking of those 3D printed items, I'll have to see if someone has made a printable file for those things. Oh, maybe. Maybe that's where Monkey Depot got them from. I'm not sure. But as I said, it was interesting because I was looking up for John Wick and Kane parts, and I saw these connectors, and I was like, what are they? And as I said, they had 3 different styles, and I thought it was really nice the way they had sort of the different compatibility. So the new leg connector with the old ball peg, vice versa, old ball peg with new sort of connector into the foot, just the new replacement collectors. I thought it was such a clever thing to have in stock. Austin says, wow, 10 John Wick figures. I think you may have the record for the most John Wick figures. Congratulations. I absolutely do not. That is 100% Bob Dylan. Bob, hands down, has the biggest, and I would say most impressive John Wick collection, because he's got the tasting room from John Wick 2 as a big diorama, and that is incredible. I've seen it in person. And he's also got some custom figures of some of the other characters from the movie as well, which is really cool. So, yeah, I don't think I have Bob's measure of John Wick, but flattered that you think I have a big collection of John Wick. Austin says, I'm never done. I love the idea of collecting. It never gets old. Plus, it always feels like Christmas when it comes to waiting on the postman to deliver. Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be Christmas today with my Topo figures, but that's fine. That's fine. We wait on. John Wick we can wait for. Guys, thank you so much for your participation. If you're watching in the replay, let me know, how are you dealing with the Chinese New Year announcement release drought or figure droughts in general? As I said, I think it's really cool to kind of share the different things that we do, because I think, one, it kind of, again, it prevents those FOMO purchases, but I also feel like having other aspects to collecting rather than focusing on just buying, I feel like it does enhance your collecting experience. So I know for me, I try to be a bit more of a mindful collector and not just be like, what's the next thing I'm buying? And kind of make sure I'm optimizing and enjoying what I have. So I was going to see if I can jump ahead. Let's jump ahead, shall we? One moment, please. If you haven't hit the like button, could you please hit the like button? It's free and it would make me really happy. So I'll be back in a minute, not even 10 seconds. And in that time, you can hit the like button for your friend Helen. Did you hit the like button? It's about 26 of you. So I hope I've got about 26 likes. That would be awesome. Guys, I'll be honest. I have no intent of talking about the JazzInc Catwoman. But the times they are tough and there was a lack of news in news. So I thought, okay, we'll talk about the Catwoman. And you might be like, why did you not want to talk about the Catwoman? I'm getting... Akira, appreciate you. Akira, smash the like button. High five for you, my friend. Thank you. So was Laura. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Release something, JazzInc. And no, your seated Batman does not count. They keep putting more and more things up for pre-order, and we've not even seen... Nothing's been released. As I said, I'm not counting that seated Batman, but like the Catwoman is not out. We've not even seen a picture of a completed head sculpt from the factory. I'm sitting here going, You are showing us custom figures made by very talented artists, so of course they look great. But I want to see what's coming out of the factory. I want to see. And also, when I looked at the prices of these Catwoman figures, because there's 3 SKUs, the NRD on 1/6 kit was like 30%. That's really high. And for me, I'll be honest, it feels a little bit like I get confused because I've seen some interviews with Yost, and I remember with the Danny DeVito Penguin, he said, yep, we think we set the pre-order to deposit too high. We've got to back ourselves. We've got to reduce that price down. But then it's 30%. And again, I didn't look at the prices on JazzInc because they have the VAT and I get very confused by it. So if their amount is different, let me know. I feel like it's pretty consistent across the different sites as to how much the PO amount is. But I'm just like 30% is a lot to drop when these JazzInc figures are coming in at a pretty penny and there's not a track record there. I'm sorry, there isn't. Okay, you made a seated Batman. It's pretty much a molded statue. Like, it's not an articulated figure. Sure, people have said the sculpt looks good. I'm not arguing that. Sculpt looks really nice, but it's not a figure. And particularly, you're making these female figures with interesting costumes, interesting fabrics, stretchy fabrics. How are they going to go? I want to see something release. Like I keep saying, I don't commit to Penguin till I see Catwoman. And even the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, those dates are creeping. And I can live with the creeping of the dates if it's amazing. Because we were talking Q1. Now, in comments, like I haven't seen a big formal announcement, but when people have asked, I've seen comments, and now we're hearing July. Okay, July, that's cool. If it's perfect, I don't care if it's July compared to March. That's cool, but I want to see something substantial from the factory. Show me a completed head sculpt, and it doesn't even have to be one with rooted hair. Show me even the sculpted, one of those DX sculpted with the intact, no battle damage. That's what I want to see. I feel like every stream I've seen, I've not seen that. I'm seeing other figures they want to do, other licenses, and I'm just going, I honestly, all I care about is that Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. That's the litmus test. If that's not a slam dunk, I won't be committing to anything else. So this is where I just get a bit, we're collecting pre-orders over at JazzInc. I want to see something before I can get excited or commit to anything else. Because Danny DeVito, yeah, looks lovely. But again, I'm not getting an outfit made by G-Wiz Customs. And even the descriptions and name dropping the custom artist when that's not who's making ours. I don't know. Some of this stuff just doesn't sit well with me. But hey, people love the 66 line. I've got no doubt. There's a lot of people that are hyped for this. The 66 line is not for me. So we've got the Julie Newmar Catwoman. Quite interesting that they have actually produced the chair. At one stage, I know they were saying that the painted detail on the chair might be difficult to mass produce, but they have pulled it off, or they are intending to pull it off. So 3 SKUs, and then we've got a bunch of different head sculpts, mask, not mask. And as I said, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't look nice. It looks nice, but I'm also very mindful that this is in essence a custom figure made by very talented artists, and then that's got to get recreated in a factory in China. Oh, goodness. Anthony Sanford. This week's homework, Helen. Google Japanese Sofubi and is it kaiju figures? It's a whole new world of collectibles. Oh, my God. I did homework from last week. I forgot to put it in the slides. I know we're so upset to divert from the JazzInc conversation, but we had that conversation about that pose that Zord did with Black Widow and Captain America. And cousin Anthony said, no, you can totally do it. And he did it and sent me a picture. He goes, this took me like 3 to 4 minutes to do. And I was like, wow. There's posing and there's posing. I was super impressed. Like, cousin Anthony pulled that off, and he just said, like, Zord is very well known for balance and patience, because I can imagine the way he had that, so impressive. So I did last week's homework. Will I remember this one? Who knows? I'll do my best. Dream and Visions is here with is that a new profile picture, but dropping me a bat. Well, bats to you. Austin says, for me, think since I've been collecting Hot Toys since 2008, I've gotten smarter with how I collect. Plus, I've learnt more about myself during the collecting journey. This is why I don't trust purchasing anything from JazzInc. Look, that's fair enough. I'm not telling anyone not to purchase. If this is for you and you are like, I have trust and I want to get it, that's cool. For me, as someone who's not bought anything or received anything from them as yet, and also being very mindful that figures are a new product for them, I really had hoped something would have come out before all these additional pre-orders were being dropped. That's just me. Winman says, not apologizing for JazzInc, but the NRD for the previous figure was 50%. 50%, really? Which figure was that? And we're used to 10%. I get it. Also, I think the WB contract is up for renewal, so maybe they are rushing these into production. The thing that gets me, Winman, is Yost himself said on a stream, and I'm trying to remember, was it whose channel it was on? I can't remember, but he acknowledged the NRDs probably being a bit high, and that was probably impacting the pre-order numbers on Penguin, because he had said Catwoman pre-order numbers amazing, really happy with that. I think they were saying it was at the 5,000 mark. But then he said the Danny DeVito Penguin was only at 700, which shocked me, because I would have thought surely a big chunk of people who want Catwoman would be getting Penguin. I mean, I know I'm on the fence as well, right? But this is the thing. When you're in doubt, it's a different pill to swallow if you go, you know what, I'll forfeit this 10% deposit. A 30 to 50% deposit is really hard. And I just feel like resale on some of these things, it's hard. Like selling figures secondhand is hard. I see people trying to sell JazzInc vehicles in Australia, and I know the prices they are asking for is not a markup. Like, I look at it and go, yeah, by the time you've paid, shipped, goods and services tax 10%, you're trying to break even. And those things sit and sit and sit, and people cannot sell them. So this is where I'm just like, you've acknowledged it's probably too high, but then we've still got it at this really high price point. I just find it very confusing to me. Ace says, not sure if anyone asked for this figure. Look, Ace, I think there's plenty of people that have love for the Batman 66 line. So I think it's probably not an unpopular thing to do. I think we've seen with Mars Toys, they've done a few figures from the 66 line. People are very enthused for them. I'm not sure how big the collecting community is for those figures, but I feel like the people that are into 66 Batman are buying these things up. So I can understand it as a choice, but I'm still just like, you mentioned with the Danny DeVito Penguin, our pre-order or our NRDs were too high, and then I'm seeing nothing's changed. So it's a bit of a head scratcher for me. Pretty sure I don't want to go any deeper into 66 Batman, have Joker, which is enough for me. That's fair enough, and it feels like between Mars Toys and JazzInc, there's going to be a lot. So I can understand having to draw a line somewhere, so that's fair enough. Anthony says, I want Earth the Kit too. I'm in to go deep on the 66 line. Case in point, the people who love it want all the stuff. Costa's here. Kalimera Costa Tikamis. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Mark's here. Good morning, Helen and fellow collectors. Hello, Mark. I hope you're doing well. Austin says, ever since the controversy of the 89 Batmobile that happened, plus I heard collectors had issues with the Back to the Future vehicle. I don't think JazzInc has done a Back to the Future vehicle, but yeah, look, the JazzInc 89 Batmobile, I think we're all aware of that. I think I've probably got myself a reputation of after my rant about what happened there. But I mean, as I said, I think vehicles are one ball game and the figures are another one. And as I said, I have to think if this thing is legitimately coming out in July, you must have something to show us of a completed head sculpt, a completed diorama base, something. We're seeing stitching and fabric on a body, which is, I feel like, all we've seen. So I want to see more. Costa says only getting the base version of this Catwoman. That's fair enough, Costa, because my goodness, there is a lot. And as I said, I'm not saying this figure doesn't look good. I look at this and I'm like, I think it looks great. I think, was it, I wish Bobby was here. I think, was it Pam Ford who worked on this outfit as well for JazzInc? I'm trying to remember. I know she did something for them. And I do think, like, if you're getting one of the other deluxe or whatnot SKUs, you're getting quite a bit with the chair, the cats, the little table here. There's a lot. I think the figure itself looks nice. There's some people complaining about the head sculpts that were included. I think this is where at some point it'll be funny to see if JazzInc becomes less democratic because Howie's not keeping himself up at night worrying about polls and people complaining that you picked Sculpt 3 when you should have picked Sculpt 4. As I say, these sculpts look nice. The rooted hair's looking nice. But again, it's a custom figure made by very skilled custom artists. What are we getting? We don't really know. But Costa mentioned the SKUs, so I thought I'll show them very quickly. So you've got the standard version here where you're still getting multiple head sculpts. You're getting sculpted head with rooted hair and rolling eyes. You're getting, maybe it's just one sculpt then. Sorry, it's a removable cat mask. Sorry, I thought it was one with and one without. Okay, removable cat mask. You've got a whole bunch of swap out hands. You've got a cat statue replica. You've got the cat pistols. They look pretty cool. You've got the necklace. You've got some funky boots there. And it's funny, Costa, because part of me does go, why did I get the DX Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman? What am I doing all of these head sculpts? Maybe I should have just got the base model and been done with it. Regrets. Then you've got the DX version. With the DX version, you're getting 2 head sculpts, both with rooted hair, rolling eyes, and the removable eye mask. So you're getting a bit more of a, I'd say not angry, but a little bit more of a serious expression there. And again, you're getting the cat pistols, the necklace, the boots. You're getting the cat phone, the cat statue with the little table, and the throne, which is quite impressive. And then, again, a big array of hands. We've got some hands for the telephone as well, which is pretty cool. And then on top of the DX version, you've got their signature version. So with that, you're getting an extra head sculpt, and also you've got the option to get the Julie Newmar autographed signature plate. And I think this one is limited to 1,000. And I think by all accounts, they've said more than 50% of them have been sold. So obviously, like if that's the case, this thing, if Danny DeVito Penguin has only sold about 700 and we've sold 500 signature edition Julie Newmar 66 Catwoman, I think that shows there is a market for this, which I do believe. Miss Batwoman says, I still love my 66 Batmobile from JazzInc. If he made a 66 Batgirl, I would have PO'd, but he won't. I've been after Mars Toys to make it as well. Yeah, it's interesting because because even with Mars Toys, like they had shown the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman and a Danny DeVito Penguin, and now they've gone to ground on that. So I don't know if they've got relationships with 1/6 Kid. Are they waiting on certain things before they do things? I don't know, but I was a bit bummed that they went very to ground on their Catwoman and Penguin from Batman Returns. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Mars Toys has quite a few figures planned for that 66 line. I do feel like most of them were male though, so I can't remember if they showed a Batgirl or not. I mean, if they're selling well, you'd hope they would, right? I still want someone to do the Alicia Silverstone Batgirl, as unpopular as I think that might be. I want it. Winman says another problem is him not being able to see these in so many markets. If we could get it from JazzInc Direct, his NRD is just 20%. The huge NRD is from the 2 resellers. Okay, 20% is still a bit up there. As I said, I think most people are used to about 10%. And this is where I'm like, if you need it to be high, address it. And that's the one thing that I thought was interesting, because with Caustic Plastic and their Crow figure, they came out and said, at this price point, the limited run we're doing, we know a 10% NRD is going to increase the likelihood of cancellations. Now, I don't know if that's different for JazzInc, because they do offer those monthly payment plans. I am on a payment plan for the 12th scale Batwing. And I have to say, like, the system, I've been liking it. I get an email a couple of days beforehand. It reminds me of the amounts coming out. And I think it's something like $27 US that comes out each month. So it's a very nice little bite-sized chunk approach. But still, I think 20%'s up there. But this is my thing. Like, if it needs to be that and you're not going to budge, say that. Like, I think coming out with some of these comments, if you're not sure of you changing it, it probably frustrates me. Because, again, even with that Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, it was, this is going to be $250 to $300. And now he's arguing of, oh, well, my pricing's in line with Artisan. I'm like, Hot Toys has made 800 plus figures. I'm sorry, you cannot compare yourselves. I just don't think you can. I think this is Eric. Good morning, Helen and collectors. Oh, it is. It's me, Eric. Happy to make today's stream. Hello, Eric. I'm glad. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I hate that YouTube's still persisting with the usernames and not the screen names. So I always worry that I'm gonna forget who someone is. But I'm glad. See, I saw Optimus Prime and the name. It's like, I think that's Eric. So that's very cool. Oh, JazzInc was selling parts for the Back to the Future vehicle. Oh, really? I did not know that was the case. Raymond says, I have the 89 and 95 Batmobiles from JazzInc, and they are amazing. I only care about the returns Catwoman and Penguin. Don't need to worry about any other pre-orders for them until they do other movie figures. Yeah, I think for me, if Catwoman comes out and it's amazing, I will go for Penguin. And then my biggest thing is I need Poison Ivy and Batgirl from Batman Robin. I can't believe I'm in a timeline where I'm saying that. If they did it and Catwoman's come out and it's amazing and Penguin's come out and that's amazing, I would have more confidence. I need some runs on the board before I can be dropping 20 and 30% POs on someone that's not released a whole lot of stuff. Costa says, I'm thinking the same about the DX versions. If I do get Penguin, it will most likely not be the 2-pack. No, as I said, I got the Catwoman with the clean DX, and I've just looked at it and gone, why? What are you do with all these head sculpts? Austin says, it's like you said, Helen, where's the real figure? It's getting old with just always looking at prototypes. I'm the same. I'm a bit like, I want to see, every time Yost does an interview, I keep hoping that's where I'm going to see more of the Catwoman. And I just see other stuff. I see Tumblrs. I see conversations about Kit, the vehicle now. The 66. I'm like, I want to see Michelle Pfeiffer. I want more coverage of that. I want more of that. I honestly don't care about anything else you're doing to me. Show me what's happening with Michelle Pfeiffer. Winman says, not going to lie, I really want this, but I feel like I will surely need the chair. Look, like the chair is cool. Like, it's a cool accessory. Let's go back. Like, it will be interesting to see if you seat the figure in the chair, how will the fabric go? But I think it's nice, like that little accessory set you've got there with the chair, the cats, the phone. Like, I really like it. I think it's cool. But again, I want to see what we're getting from the factory. AJ's here. Hello, Helen and friends. Hope all is well. Happy Friday to you, AJ. Hope you're well. Hope Mrs. Ashley is well as well. Well as well. Bad choice of words. Ace says the quality control on the vehicles was a big issue for JazzInc, and they were not addressing, which is probably why people are being drawn away. Oh, I know. I was very vocal about the whole 89 Batmobile prototype thing. And I'll be honest, I waited to pre-order the Batwing, and when I first got my first payment plan installment, when it said I was in group 3, wasn't mad about it, because I know, even as someone who's never bought a JazzInc vehicle, that the sentiment is you want to be in a later batch. So as much as I feel like the 6-scale Batwing isn't a vehicle that had a lot of talk of issues or QC problems, I still was like, I'll be in a later batch. Thank you very much. Winman says, I think the reason that Catwoman is taking so long is that JazzInc realizes this is going to seriously affect future purchases if this one is knocked out of the park. We shall see. I think it's twofold, Winman, because I these are things I ponder in my life because I'm a bit sad like that. I think it's twofold. Absolutely. If this is not, like, Yost talks a big game. Let's be honest here. Because even the last interview I saw, and he's talking about the seated Batman. And these comments really grind my gears. Oh, and if you've got the underscaled Hot Toys Batmobile, it'll fit in there as well. Why do you need the pot shots, mate? Like, if your product is that good and you're standing by it, why can't you just say, hey, if you've got the Hot Toys one, all you do is you pop out this part and my seated Batman will fit right in there. Like, why the little barbs? I just get a bit over it. But my view with the Catwoman is twofold. I feel like, one, yes, it needs to be amazing, 100%. I'm saying right here, if I get that thing and it's not amazing, you're going to be really hard to get me to buy anything else from you. The second thing I think is, if you remember the infamous illegal figures video, I think they announced this way too soon. I do not think I think in a perfect world, if Eternal Toys hadn't announced their Catwoman, I don't know that Yost announced his when he does, because the amount of time it's taken with the custom body and the fabrics, I have to think you'd want to have been down that road a bit more before you put something up for pre-order. So there is a part of me that wonders, did they jump the gun to wanting to announce it because they're going, oh my God, Eternal Toys is doing one, we don't want to lose sales? And with all due respect, the Eternal Toys one, it's fine. It's not great. But also I think there's going to be a market for people that'll be more driven by price, that are not interested in a figure at the JazzInc price point. And then you've got people that are like, no, I want the best thing out there. Don't care what the price is. I'll make it happen. So I think they're different markets. So I do kind of think it's a bit from column A and a bit from column B. But absolutely, all eyes are on this Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Raymond says, I can give JazzInc some credit with all the updates they're giving and trying to nail the Catwoman proportions. But like you, I really want to see the final production figure. Just show me a head sculpt. One head sculpt. Like, you're making what? 6? Between the clean DX and the battle damage DX, I think there's at least 6 head sculpts. Is there not one that you can show us? One painted prototype head sculpt you can show us? This thing's coming out in July. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Surely at least one of them has to be done by now. You think of like all this rooting and stuff that has to happen. Surely one clean head sculpt without the rooted hair has been painted and you can show us. Surely there's one prototype from the actual factory that you can show us. There's got to be more than what we're seeing. I'm just so overseeing silicone bodies and fabric and stitching. I want to see more. I feel like that's all we've seen. Austin says, if I'm not mistaken, did Yost say either Penguin or Catwoman will come out this fall or later? Well, I mean, the Catwoman was originally meant to come out in Q1 2026, and now they're saying July. Penguin, I can't remember. As I said, I didn't pre-order it. Am I remembering the date? No, because I don't have any skin in that game as yet. But my other thing that annoys me about Catwoman was it's still open for pre-order. There was all this FOMO about having to pre-order by this certain date in November, and then joke's on me, it could have waited till now. You're speaking facts, Helen. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. JB says it actually grinds my gears too when I heard Yoast hold up the super accurate flag every time. The amount of inaccuracies on his past vehicles, most of which I own, are substantial. Right over. This is what gets me. Oh, it's the most accurate. It's the most correct. It's the most this. And I'm just going, like, you're proud of your product. Cool. But I don't like the pot shots. As I said, I think it was on the 6 Scale Mafia channel, like, when he's talking about this seated Batman, and yes, if you've bought the very underscaled Hot Toys version, I'm like, why do you need to say that? Why do you need to say that? It's just not necessary. Just like the illegal figures comment. I'm like, what? Why? Like, are you scared of Eternal Toys? Because if you're scared of Eternal Toys, I think there's a bigger problem. Respectfully, why are you scared of Eternal Toys? I hope once collectors get their JazzInc, Catwoman, and Penguin figures that they tell the truth about their reviews, not just being a fan. Me too, Austin. I would love that because, my goodness, those 89 Batmobile situation, everyone got their Batmobile and was going to do a video, and then suddenly it was the world's busiest week and no one had time. I can tell you, I'm getting it. I don't know if I'll unbox it live on camera. I will do a review. I will give you my honest opinion. I'm not sitting here trying to get influencer batch and brand deals. I don't care for any of that stuff. I've got no problem paying for stuff with my own money. But this is what gets me. There's people that have rose-colored glasses. There's people that have friendships with Yoast now, and they can't be objective. And this is my thing. If you want to be a reviewer, you need to have a degree of separation. I talk about this when I talk about, my journalism background. Like, you can't be mates with people. It puts you in such an awkward position because then if you need to be critical or objective, you feel so torn. I always make a point to keep that distance because then I can just say my opinion. I don't feel compromised. But, I'll probably get shot down for that comment. That's fine. I don't really care. I'm sitting in my YouTube bubble on my own. As far as him calling it artisan, let's be honest, all he needs to do is make the hair great, and that puts him in a tie with Hot Toys Artisan. Hot Toys Artisan is just hair, no leather. Hot Toys Artisan is selected leather. How dare you? Yeah, look, the hair, it will be interesting to see the hair. But, yeah, look, sometimes Howie gives you leather and sometimes he doesn't. And, I mean, I've had a rant. I've got a whole video ranting about Hot Toys and Artisan. I'm with you. I think it's an absolute travesty that Ford does not have leather pants, but we'll see. We'll see how we go, but we need to see something first. This is my point. Raymond says, I think there is a San Diego Comic-Con or other Comic-Con soon in the US where Yoast will be with Factory Entertainment. I think he said showing the production Catwoman there, so that is April. Is San Diego Comic-Con in April? For some reason, I feel like that's more June, July. But I did hear that. I mean, that would be great. I just, you're obviously getting updates from the factory. Surely you have a photo of a sculpt. Surely you have a photo of the Hell Here diorama. Surely. And I know I'm not the only one with this point of view, but yet here we are. Thank you, Costa. It's in July. I thought so. I did not think it was in April. Appreciate you. Ace says, most people are on payroll. That's why they do selective reviews. That's why I'd rather watch and follow smaller channels. I'll be honest. I've got some real fatigue. And I've not been watching a lot of Hot Toy stuff on YouTube. And part of it is that. Part of it is I don't know. Some people seem to be contradicting themselves a lot. And I just like, I don't want to put my time towards someone whose view that I don't know is genuine or that flip-flops or I think has agendas to be in influencer batches and getting special treatment. I'm a bit the same. I feel like it's actually one of the things I like about Figure Hideout. I feel like even though he's got these deals, I feel like he's still, or deals, but you know, like he's obviously a hot toys vlogger. He's getting stuff from J&D. I feel like he's still quite truthful because even his Captain America review, like he was criticizing a few things and I was like, you know what, like respect to you, because I feel like so many people, if they had that gig, would just be just be like, I've just got to say all the wonderful things and not be objective or call things out in any way. And I like the fact that he does that. It's probably why his reviews are probably the main ones that I watch now when he does them. Unfortunately, he's doing a lot of reels and I prefer longer content. But yeah, I'm a bit the same. Like if I'm looking for a review, I kind of don't always watch the names. I can't remember the last time I watched a review from one of the names. But yeah, I'm getting a bit over, you know, the king is dead. Hot Toys is not the king. InArt is the best. But then, oh my God, I got a Hot Toys figure and it's amazing. It's like, but you were saying they were horrible and don't buy them and they're terrible. And now I'm not a fan of the clickbait. Oh, thanks, Austin. I love that you're standing in your truth and that's how it should be. Yeah, I come here, I say my bit, whether people like it or not. I just don't. I'm just going to be my authentic self. I can't be bothered trying to pander to anything or anyone. And if that gets me views, doesn't get me views, I don't particularly care. Whatever. Mark says, I have no skin in this game with Yoast, but I do enjoy seeing the creativity behind capturing the likeness and articulation possibilities. Yeah, I mean, it has been interesting to get some of those insights. I think one of the things that I found the most interesting was when Yoast was talking about the cost of developing a prototype. It was up there, and I think it's interesting for people to know that, because when people keep wanting all these iteration and changes, kind of understanding what that initial investment is, it was definitely an eye-opener. So I think there's some stuff I like to see. I don't know that everything needs to be a vote, but yeah. Winman says, can you tell I don't have a single rooted hair figure from Hot Toys? I'm still scared to mess with the eyes. Winman, I'm with you. I seriously, as much as I love Artisan Black Widow, I want magnetic eyes. I hate having to handle the hair to adjust the eyes, and I still haven't got the eyes right, and it's frustrating me. It's frustrating me. When Man says SDCC is in July, he said he will be there and showing off everything. Well, I mean, we're waiting, but July's when it's meant to release. Something has to be ready, guys. Something has to be ready. I don't trust food reviews when the food is comped, and it's the same with figure reviews. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Oh, Helen's integrity is one of the many reasons why I'm here. Thank you, JB. Appreciate you. Winman says, I'm going to be honest, I'm confused about the truth in reviews. I watch all of Justin's reviews because he does great videography and I can see the figure clearly. His opinion does not matter to me. Look, that's probably not a bad view to say. And my comments are not specific to any one reviewer. I've reached a stage where all the people I was pretty regularly watching, I just have such fatigue with. I feel like I'm watching, as I say, when Figure Hideout does full reviews, I'm watching Iron Logan's content because I love that more posing content, and that's a different beast. Cousin Anthony, when he does his videos, I watch them, but people just pump stuff out to pump stuff out, and some of these opinion pieces and reviews, I don't know. The flip-flopping just gets to me. Austin says, I just thought it in Austin's well, I've got the clip, Austin. Let me play it for you. Austin likes the InArt clip. Let's share that. I haven't shared it today.
So the earlier whoa.
did you see she then did the next stream? She was back. That brave woman. I don't know how they bribed her to come back. I couldn't watch it. I think it was with Dumbledore. I was just like, I'm sorry, this woman has suffered enough. I don't want to see what else they put her through. Dr. No is here. Hi, Shuri, Helen, and fellow collectors. Like button is free, by the way. It is free. I appreciate it. I'm up to about 47 people watching. So, I mean, I hope I've got 47 likes. I'm going to take 2 seconds so you guys can hit the like button, and then we can move on from JazzInc, I hope. Thank you for hitting the like button. It's free, and I appreciate it. Tiny Art Guy says, I agree with Windman 42 completely. The movie canon is here. Hello, everyone. Hope you are all well. Hello to you, the movie canon. I hope you're well as well. Austin's appreciating the clip. Laura loves, the wall adds it, but I'll always just laugh at the fact that the camera panned to the empty spot. Like, wouldn't you be like, oh no, pan away from the empty space where the figure fell. It's just perfect. Mark says, not going to lie, if Yost can do a solid Nicholson Joker, I might have to reconsider. Well, I think there's been talk of him not really giving out his likeness rights, so I don't know if he's going to get that opportunity. I think he's asked the question and not had a response or been told. I know people have certainly asked. I kind of have to feel like if Jack's rights were there, surely Hot Toys would have 2.0'd that. Surely. I think Mars Toys is probably the one to watch with the Joker space at the moment. Poor Arnie. I know, poor lady who was hosting that horrible stream. Dr. No says, when watching figure reviews, I turn the volume down and let the figure do the talking. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Ramstein fan is here. Howdy, Helen and chat. I'm just dropping by to give a thumbs up. Appreciate you. I'll catch the replay later. Have a great day and weekend. Thank you for dropping by and for the like. I hope you have a lovely day and weekend as well. Let's move on. I've had quite my JazzInc rant. I'm sure people will come at me pitchforks at 11. Chopper from One Piece. Do I know what this is? No, I know we've had some figures from One Piece. This appears to be, I'm gonna say, is this like a new life-size critter line that we're going down? We've had a couple of the Grogu's, we had Stitch, we've now got Chopper. I know One Piece is quite popular. It has a lot of fans. I know because one of the because you all know I love the Banana Ball, and the season has just started again. And one of the players and I feel like I always have to say it with an American accent because saying the team name in an Australian accent doesn't sound right. The Savannah Bananas reselects the artist. His uniform is kind of inspired by One Piece. So there you go. I know random stuff. So we've got Chopper. Do I have any One Piece fans in the house, live or in the chat? Does this interest you? Is this something you're going, oh my God, I need this, either on its own or to put next to my Stitch and my Grogu in a satchel? You could put Chopper in a satchel. See how that goes for you. So yeah, I color me shocked and amazed that this was the one and only bit of newsy news we got from Howard and Hot Toys this week. We got Chopper. He's cute. I don't know what the heck he is. He's got a few accessories. Isn't that fun? Is he a moose? I don't know. He kind of looks like a bear, but he's got antlers. I really don't know what this is. Ace, it's fine. I apologize for spelling your name wrong. We'll remember that for the next and future streams. That's fine. I have a chuckle. It's all good. It's all good. Looks like Paddington Bear goes to Switzerland. I mean, you know, if you tilt your head, the cross will look like that. Windman says, that thing is super cute, but I have no clue what it is. I only know One Piece from the Netflix show, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, you'll all be shocked to hear I have not seen it. JB says, One Piece season 1 was fun. However, I don't need figures from it. No idea what this is, though. Oh, really? Because there was it Luffy and I want to say Zoro? And I remember Luffy. It was such a shame because, his outfit, there's not a lot to it. And then we had all the visible joints, which was a shame. I know some of them could be hidden with other accessories, but I feel like that Luffy would have been a prime candidate for swap out pre-posed limbs. Like, sure, have the jointed ones for posing, but have some seamless ones that you can swap out. So if you just want to put him in a signature pose, you don't have to look at all those visible joints. It's such a shame. Blurred Dad Life is here. Hello. Hi, Helen. I'm window shopping on eBay. By any chance do you have the Eternal Toys Catwoman Batman Returns? I like One Piece, but I will not be getting Chopper. He's a reindeer doctor. Oh, he's a reindeer. I feel a bit silly now. So I do not have the Eternal Toys Catwoman. I have the Eternal Toys Penguin because Cousin Anthony gifted it to me. I know that Bob Dylan did get it, so I don't know if you're connected with Bob on any of the socials, but I know on Facebook he does quite nice little written recaps of figures he gets in. So I kind of feel like it was not great. I feel like the sentiment I heard was that the body was perhaps a bit flimsy. It did come out a while ago. The Penguin, I don't mind. I think it's quite a hefty figure. I was impressed with a few things with it. The rooted hair and the seam is very rough, but I've very much hidden it with the hat and putting the hair in the jacket. The Penguin's kind of a nice figure, hence why I probably feel like I don't have to run out and pre-order the JazzInc one. But I feel like the comments on the Catwoman were not as complimentary as the Penguin. But as I said, if you're connected to Bob, maybe search on Facebook and see his written write-up about the figure. This is a Star Wars in 60 seconds moment. Look, if we had more newsy news, but we don't have a lot of newsy news, Austin, so we've got to pad things out a little bit. Salvatore is here. Hello. I want more figures from One Piece, but keep getting keep it to 1/6 and skip the life size one. Yeah, it's a bit of a interesting one. I mean, I don't know enough about One Piece to go, could you have done a bit of a Rocket and Cosmo combo, like from Guardians? Like, is there some other character you could have paired this with and made it a bit of a 2-pack or a 3-pack if there were other critters? Like, I understand maybe they were going, oh, this at 6 scale, does that warrant a release? But I think if you do bundle them up, it maybe makes a little bit more sense. I'm not sure. Oh, Chopper is in the new season 2 next week. He can shape shift into different forms. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. I thought there'd been a lot more of One Piece than one season. I thought there was a lot of episodes. I'm clearly getting it confused with something else. Kareem is here. Hey, Helen, hope all is well. Going to catch the replay during this workout, but this is an interesting release to say the least. I'm good, Kareem. I hope you are too. Enjoy the replay. Enjoy your workout. Yeah, as I said, I'm a bit kind of wondering, like, is this going to be a regular thing we start seeing with Hot Toys? Because even it just popped into my head. You guys remember the Winnie the Pooh and the Piglet they did back in the day? I don't think they were life size, but it's interesting because we've had the Grogu, we've had Stitch, we've now got Chopper. Are we going to start seeing more of these? Chopper ate a fruit which made him very intelligent, and if he gets angry or stressed, he can increase his size 10 times and get super strong. He joined the crew and goes on the journey. Oh my goodness. This is so interesting. The live action Netflix One Piece is up to season 2. Because is there an animated version? Because I feel like when they were talking about it on Banana Ball, it made me think there was a lot of episodes. All my One Piece knowledge I learnt from Banana Ball, fun fact. Thank you, AJ. One Piece anime is around 1,200 episodes. That feels like what the Banana Ball people were saying. One Piece on live action Netflix is 1 season and only a handful of episodes. Okay, interesting. I'm not misremembering. Appreciate you. So Chopper, as I said, he looks pretty cute. I don't know who this is for. It's not for me. And look, I think to Hot Toys' credit, they've put a bit of effort into this. It's quite interesting. I don't think they've done this with any of their other similar, are we calling it a figure? 2 interchangeable mouths. So you can swap out his mouth? That's interesting, because I know with, I can't remember if it was the Hot Toys Grogu or the Sideshow Grogu, one of the Grogus, one of the first Grogus. Wasn't it that you had to keep the mouth open? Because if you closed it, it would be prone to splitting. So I think it's nice that you've got the swap out mouthpieces there. He's got his little, I guess it's a medical bag. He's a doctor. He's got his medical hat. He's got his antlers. He's got a waist grabber display stand. You can take the hat off. It's showing his little hooves. He's got some interchangeable hands. As I said, very cute. I just don't know what it is, and it's not for me. So as I said, it was a interesting to announce this in a week when there was no other news. It was the Hot Toys Grogu. Thank you, Costa. I remembered it was one of them. I just remember there being this. No, don't close the mouth. And I was just like, oh, God, okay. There we go. I don't really have much more to say about One Piece. But if you're a One Piece fan on the replay, let me know if you're getting this, or anybody live, are you getting this? Let us know. As I said at the start of the show, I think a quick stream's a good stream. So I think we've got one more agenda item and then we can wrap up, which is exciting. Helen can maybe get an early night on a Friday. The releases. What's coming up? What could we potentially see next week? So shout out to Jurgen Schultz as always. He does these updates in collector base. Absolutely love them. If you enjoy them, make sure you're giving him a bit of a like and a thank you. So this is what has a Q1 release schedule, with the exception of Harley Quinn. That Artisan Harley Quinn is past its due date. So that's another one I'm interested in seeing. It's the look I wanted, but I was having this conversation with cousin Anthony. I don't know that I really like any Margot Robbie likeness that Hot Toys has done. And this is the look I wanted, but I don't know. I'm keen to see it, but I'm not sold on it. And if they've made some improvements, that will make me happy. But yeah, I don't know. Is it being delayed a good thing, a bad thing? We don't know. But that's the only thing that's really overdue. We've got these Hono figures. Again, what's happening with Hono? Only Howie knows. Nice pull. Also keen to see that. Winter Soldier. Come on, Howie. And I hope that hair is looking amazing, please. We've got a few more figures from Deadpool Wolverine. We've also got the Blade. We've got, I think it's Rain from Alien. Red Hulk. Goodness, it's been almost a year since Captain America 4. Can you believe it? Mr. Freeze, my goodness, that is one I'm definitely hyped for. Saw it at Secret Base and thought it looked amazing. We've got the Moon Knight figures, the Artisan one. Look, I struggled with Moon Knight. I think I've said that a few times on this stream. So the figure's not for me, but I am keen to see how they go with the Artisan hair on the Moon Knight figure, given it is shorter hair. I'm keen to see how it goes, to see, will this potentially open the door to Artisan figures with shorter hair, you know? Christian Bale Batman, Tony Stark. We've got Kamen Riders, figures and vehicles. I still don't know who they're for. And we've got the Star Wars. We've got, I don't know, is he Anakin? Is he Darth Vader? Who knows? He's there as well. So for me, I have the Artisan Winter Soldiers on pre-order. the Mr. Freeze Deluxe is on pre-order. So eagerly awaiting those. So let me know. What are you getting? What are you excited for? I really am a bit bummed out that Hot Toys hasn't done one of their coming soon posts in a long, long time. I know they sometimes only did one a year, but I still enjoyed kind of knowing what was coming out, because sometimes it was like curveballs of, oh, that's coming out. That's a bit early. But no, they don't seem to be doing it anymore. But anyway. Anthony says, keep your hands off my Grogu now becomes keep your hands off my Chopper. I mean, I don't know. People aren't parading Chopper in a satchel, are they? I just had this vision of people walking around with Grogu in that satchel, like at cons, like with cosplay. And you can't trust people not to be touching things. So that's all I keep saying. If you're going to walk around with Grogu in a satchel, you're going to have a bad time. Mark says the figure is cute. I think that's about Chopper, but never watched One Piece. Me either. Ace says, from this, I'm only getting Blade and Winter Soldier. It would disappoint me if they reuse the same body and outfit from the 1.0. Is that about the Winter Soldier? If it is about the Winter Soldier, the outfit's definitely different because it's actually leather this time around. And I'm guessing there might be some changes to the body because the chrome arms are like swap out pre-posed arms, which I like because I hate trying to bend the arm on my 1.0 Winter Soldier. So as I say, the leather definitely praise Howie, but I'm hoping the body's nice. It'll scale well to Steve, because I feel like when they showed the two figures at one point, I was like, oh, these don't look amazing together scaling wise. Mark's money is on Old Man Blade. Oh, maybe. Salvatore says Blade really needs his jacket. I don't know that this one comes with a jacket. I cannot remember. Mark says, I would think Hono should be coming out quick. I mean, I don't know. I've got no idea what's happening with Hono. And then, you know, I have to think it's been at least 6 months since a Hono announcement. And then they announced, was it the SoFi line to do the Galactus? They're just announcing these lines, and maybe we remember we have it and we release something, and maybe we don't. So, yeah, it's a bit funny. So that's what's coming up. I mean, for me, as I said, I potentially will hopefully have a nice run of some pre-orders coming in soon. I'm really hoping my Batman Returns is not far away, and then I should be getting Batman and Robin from the horrible movie of the same name. Should be getting this Strike Suit Captain America, and hopefully So comes good on the figures they said or their associates said are coming in March and April. We shall see. All right, guys, as I said, quick game's a good game. I am going to wrap it up. Thank you for coming to hang out. Hopefully next week we've got a bit more to talk about. Next week I should hopefully have my Topo suits. So if we don't have newsy news, I'll unbox them. I'm also waiting for some head sculpts from Image Studio. So if they arrive in time, I may unbox them live, or otherwise I may do a bit of a review on them. I'll see how I go for time. Let me get rid of this. But if you could drop me a like on the way out, it would be appreciated. I've got 44 people, so I'm hoping 44 likes. Another shout out to my channel members. Appreciate you guys. If anybody else would like to... Shuri, you're late. You're late. Where are you going? Guys! She doesn't like being held, but I picked her up. Look at this tail. Look at this beautiful tail. Shuri, where you been? The people have been waiting for you for weeks, Bubby. She's come to have a drink of water from the glass. She hates being picked up. I'm shocked that didn't end up with me getting some kind of attack. Good Shuri. But she's here, and I appreciate her. You gonna come by? You gonna say hello to the peeps before I sign off? You're just gonna have a big drink of water. You gonna say hi? Come on. Shooty. Here we go. Hey, there she is. Little Shooty, how you doing? Where you been? You in the sink? You want the microphone? You got something to say? Oh, Shuri, so glad you made a cameo. I hope Miss Batwoman's here. She's missed you, Shuri. Look at this tail. Beautiful tail. God, this is either a climactic or anticlimactic end to the stream, depending on whether you like cats. People saying thank you for the stream. Appreciate you. Oh, there we go. People saying hi to you, Shuri. She's having another drink of water because it's freaking hot. Hi, Shuri. Stream is ending. I know. She picked her moment. She's off. She's off. She's going to go do her claws. Oh, Shuri, miss seeing you. That's why I picked her up. I was like, I don't know how that's going to go because, as I said, she does not like being picked up. But it's sort of a special guest appearance. I mean, what better way to end the stream than with a little bit of Shuri? But, guys, thank you for coming to hang out. I will be back next Friday, hopefully with some cool stuff to unbox, hopefully with some newsy news. That will be a treat. But I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.